So I have a confession. Every time somebody gets sued on Wall Street, my first instinct is usually skepticism. And I'm not saying they're innocent or they're always innocent or anything like that. I'm not trying to be a sympathizer. I'm just saying markets are very messy, right? And the truth is often messier. But when I saw that this famous short seller, Andrew Left, had been convicted of securities fraud, I found myself thinking, yeah, what did he actually do? Because if you've been around the market long enough, you know who Andrew Left is. For years, he built a reputation attacking companies that he believed were basically just overvalued for egregious reasons. And he was not afraid to tell you what those reasons were, as most short sellers, all of them are. Sometimes they were fraudulent, sometimes outright disasters waiting to happen. And to be fair, a lot of his calls ended up being right. He warned about Evergrande years before it collapsed. He called out problems at Valiant. He publicly attacked companies that later faced investigations, lawsuits, regulatory scrutiny. So this wasn't some random account with a blue check mark. This was one of the most recognizable short sellers in America. And now prosecutors argued something entirely different. They claimed he would publicly announce positions, move stock prices, and then quietly exit trades while investors still believed he was holding them. The jury agreed. And so basically now he's facing I'm reading this here, sentencing later this year. And yeah, pretty crazy story. So what immediately jumped into my head as we continue this walk here, how many people are doing some version of this right now? Right? Like not just Andrew Left, so many other people. We're picking on this guy, obviously, because he has a lot more money. But everybody else, think about it. Spend 5 minutes on financial Twitter. You'll find somebody telling you, buy this stock, or buy that stock. Push this, share this. Everybody pile on this, right? It's all you hear all day. And sometimes you follow. Sometimes you see a video on YouTube, like the one I did the other day on Virgin Galactic. But yeah, we've all seen it. And I think the difference is most people don't have enough Twitter followers or whatever followers for it to matter. So I get why this is a big deal, of course. Andrew Left had a lot of followers. And that's why this case, I think, is very important. His reputation had value. And people weren't just reading his opinions. They were obviously acting on them, making trades, starting positions. They believed he'd done the work, that he had the conviction in the play. They believed he had skin in the game. Of course, prosecutors argued that was not always true. One example involved Roku. According to prosecutors, he publicly attacked the stock. The shares dropped. Then he made hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then he got out. Basically all within hours. And if that's what happened, well, I can understand why the regulators cared. But here's where my brain keeps getting stuck. Many of the companies he criticized actually had serious problems. Some faced investigations, some had fraud allegations getting settled, some collapsed entirely. Beyond Meat traded around $86 when he attacked that one. Today it's under $1. Evergrande imploded. Several cannabis companies he criticized later faced major issues. So we're not talking about somebody who is simply making things up. And that's what makes this story so uncomfortable. Because markets like simple villains, right? The story doesn't really have one. Yeah, instead it sits in this weird gray zone, I guess. And let's face it, gray areas make people very uncomfortable. And being right doesn't automatically make your behavior acceptable. And being wrong, on the other hand, doesn't automatically make it fraud. Those are separate conversations. And I actually think that's part of why people are going to argue about this case probably for years. The other thing I couldn't stop thinking about is just how much investing has changed. So 20 years ago, obviously it was just a handful of analysts who moved stocks. But today, some anonymous account with a cartoon profile picture can move stocks. And some YouTubers, definitely not mine, but some, have larger audiences than financial TV or CNBC. You know, some influencers have more trust than professional analysts do. And if we're being completely honest, a lot of investors aren't really buying research. It's mostly like you just want to feel confident, right? Most of the time, it's like, I don't know, why do you watch a podcast? Why do you listen to the podcast on your device or whatever it is? Whatever, when it comes to finance, at least, most of the time, it's because you have that, it's like the carrot being dangled in front of you. Like you almost are about to get the answer, and it seems like you're on the verge of getting that last nugget of something that's going to set you apart from everybody else and get you that separation, that financial freedom that you've been trying to find. You know, you want that certainty. You're looking for conviction, another reason to believe. Sometimes it's even just, you're just looking for confirmation bias. I mean, whatever it is, you're watching for a reason. So sometimes they're renting somebody else's conviction. I mean, whatever, you get the idea. It's dangerous. Obviously, as somebody who loves financial markets, I've always believed that people should be allowed to express their opinions. You know, strong opinions, aggressive opinions, even unpopular opinions. Markets need the critics. Some of the biggest frauds in history were exposed by people willing to say, you know, this company doesn't make sense. But I also think transparency matters a lot. And if you're telling the public one thing while privately doing something else, that's a problem. It has nothing to do with bullish or bearish or whatever. It's just trust is the whole foundation. The moment people stop believing you're being honest about your position, everything starts falling apart. So maybe that's what this jury ultimately decided. Not that short selling is a bad thing to do, or that criticism is something we have to stop, or even that Andrew Left was necessarily wrong about these companies, because obviously, like I said, he wasn't always wrong. It's more so the idea that, I guess, influence comes with responsibility. And yeah, if your words are moving millions of dollars, it's a big responsibility. The rules become different. What do you think? If somebody publicly recommends a stock, right? Should they be required to disclose when they buy and sell? Or is that asking too much? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Because I have a feeling, you know, we're going to be all over the place with this one, like we are with anything. And yeah, if you enjoy stories like this, definitely hit the like button, subscribe, do whatever you want. Hopefully these videos keep getting better though. This is one of the earlier ones on the channel, but I really enjoy bringing them to you. And if you guys have anything you think I should be covering, be sure to let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.